The third round match, Ansh versus Hitansh. Ansh was white or black, Hitansh? Do you remember? I mean, Ansh, do you remember?
White.
Okay, so Ansh started with his e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and then bishop c4, his
And then
favorite.
knight c3.
Yeah.
Now
And
again
here
bishop.
Ansh would play.
D3. Knight c3. D3.
Yeah, he did play knight c3 this game.
D3.
He played d3.
See?
Yeah. After d3, knight f6.
And then he would have played g5. This I'm not sure.
What would he
g5.
do?
Knight g5.
Knight no, he wouldn't play that.
Yeah.
Then the opponent will castle.
Which one you're talking about?
So white.
Which
Knight
move you're
C3,
talking?
Knight.
Knight c3.
No, knight g5.
Knight g5? Yeah, there's
He'll
no problem.
castle.
Why would you play knight g5 instead?
I play knight g5.
Knight g5 castles, your knight is like looking stupid over there, not doing anything. He doesn't know what he's doing that knight. So knight shouldn't go there.
Bishop to
Yeah, bishop g5 makes sense. The move that I've been telling Ansh for centuries to play is
c3.
yeah, c3, which he'll never play. Never. He's like, this is working out well for me. I'm winning games. I am not never going to play pawn c3. I'll play knight c3 and knight d5 for my whole life. That's Ansh's plan. He plays bishop g5, d6, pawn h3. This is a very interesting game, by the way. Hitansh came close to like upsetting our Ansh.
Sir,
Okay,
adjust.
1 second.
Adjust.
Just a second. Pay this call. Hello. Hi. Yeah, it's here. Let me check. There's one bag here. Yeah.
Was that the improvement?
Okay. Okay, cool. I'll do that later. Cool.
Still remember the match against Srikanth. That time. Remember 8 seconds I lost.
Okay. So right now it looks like a quiet game, right? h3, h6. Yeah. h3, h6. Bishop is sitting on
The
g5.
other way.
And now that's fine. Bishop to h4 back.
Sir, I was seeing.
So basically this bishop g5, right? It's a bit too early to play because now black hasn't castled, which means black can play g5. Like I would play g5, knight h5, knight f4 and castle this side. After castling g5 is a little bit risky, but black should do it if there's no other choice. But here black should just play g5 and gain space. Then that bishop will be like stuck here. So this is not ideal for white, playing bishop g5 without c3 castles. Anyway, bishop back. Hitansh played a odd looking move. Queen to d7. That's not a good move, right? He's blocking the bishop.
Oh yeah. He should have
Bishop
played
should have come
E7.
out. Huh,
If he wants
e7
to
would
play
be, yeah.
better.
No, e7 would be, yeah. Then knight c3 would have made sense if knight was already there, knight d5. But yeah, e7 is good. Or just bishop e6 and then queen d7. But yeah, he plays queen d7. He doesn't mind bishop takes knight. Please don't make noise, Tina. Bishop takes knight is not a problem because king is not in castle.
But queen d7 also makes you get out of the pin.
Yeah, that's true, but by blocking the bishop. So,
When to take the knight and damage it.
so Ansh makes a big decision here to go bishop takes, pawn takes. Yeah, you did that right away. And what do you think, Prayan? Do you like this decision by Ansh to play bishop takes knight? Happy Srikanth.
Yes. I might just have a little bit of OCD. It's there in my family.
Okay.
My sister has it.
Okay.
A lot.
Okay.
Sir, I feel white's position is better.
So this was a good decision, you're saying. Okay, anybody saying it's a bad decision? Ansh is saying it's a bad decision. Why? Why Ansh?
So because it opens the rook file and since the
Huh.
black king hasn't castle, he can castle from long side.
Yeah,
Castle long side.
but long he'll take time also, no? So
And secondly,
I'll say it's okay. I mean, it's a way to play. I mean, white is slightly more developed, so whatever white does, it's good for white. Even this, I think, is a good position for white.
yeah, because
But
even you can castle the queen side to avoid
yeah,
the attacking.
like knight c3 could lead to castle 3 moves.
That's what happened, right?
Okay, so knight c3 happened. Ansh's favorite move, by the way. I mean, here it makes sense because it's not. I mean, c3 d4 also makes sense actually, but okay, more development is better. Bishop to b4. Hitansh is breaking some opening principles. Yeah, he's moving the same piece again. He's blocking the bishop by the queen, and now Ansh plays
Queen d2.
queen d2.
So that's what I would play.
Brave move. Okay. Oh, you'd also played. I would have played queen e2. Oh, So if he
I
takes,
don't
you want to
have-
take back with the queen.
Yeah, he doesn't want to.
What if he doesn't take?
So
Then I play the bishop. I mean pawn.
Bishop back,
I mean pawn.
b4. Then your king won't be safe. No, you're okay with that.
no, they can just castle king
I
side.
would play pawn
Yeah,
a3
rook
if
g8.
bishop does not move.
Rook g8,
If
queen
it
takes
bishop-
pawn.
No, as soon as there's rook g8, queen takes h6.
Queen takes oh, queen takes h6. Then it's risky. I mean,
No,
your king.
queen takes h6 and that also defends the
Yeah,
pawn.
you're defending this for now, but h file is open, g file is open. You are the one under the pump
I'll
there.
tell plan, sir.
Yes.
So if you play,
Let's say black plays something like queen e7,
then I'll play a3.
a3 bishop back.
Then I will castle.
You will castle long
So no,
or short.
I would.
1 second, short or long?
So I'll castle, of course, very much.
Long. Okay. I'll bring my bishop out.
Then I will.
So you already played a3, right? So that means I can either play b5, b4 fast, or I can castle and have a quiet game. So yeah, if you castle long,
So
you can
B4
stay.
no worries because I already have played a3 now.
That's the problem. That's why b4 should be a worry. If you already played a3, b4 becomes a problem, no? I play b4, so b5 you play something. I play b4, then you'll have to take. Then knight takes. Because you played a3, it's a problem. If you haven't played a3, it's not a problem. You can just move the knight. So if you already moved this pawn, the hook becomes a problem. This is what we call a hook. The b pawn comes here very fast. So that's one way to play for black. Or black will play quiet with castles. So either way, you have to, like, I don't know about queen d2. I would rather keep the king in the center and play queen e2, and then decide which side I want to castle.
But then there's takes, and then
Bishop
you
takes.
can't castle either side.
No, I can castle here. I'll have to defend a little bit. That's all. So,
sir,
huh?
the rook will come.
Which rook? No, let's say I play queen e2, takes, rook comes. Then I can't castle there. But I can play king d2. This I'll have 3 pawns over here.
So
Maybe
why
this
can't
is.
you castle what?
If I castle long, short, queen takes pawn with rook on g8, it will be a problem. So I can play king d2. I'm kind of
You
fine.
also connect the rooks.
Yeah, the bishop is a very good piece for black. Now, so if he does this, then I'm welcoming that. But okay, queen d2 happened and Hitansh like helps Ansh a little bit with bishop takes. And now queen takes. And now Hitansh plays rook g8. So this is where Ansh realizes he is under a little bit of pressure. So let me ask everyone, because black has got a rook on the open file and you don't know where your king is supposed to go. So
It
your pawn
takes
is hanging.
long castle.
So what will you do here is my question. You can think for a bit and decide.
Pawn is hacking. Which pawn?
Srinath, you need to be quiet without people are thinking on their own. You don't have to disturb them. Yes, what will you do, guys? Prayan?
Rook g1.
Yeah, that's the best choice. Yeah, moving the pawn weakens your king side a little bit. H3 pawn becomes weak when we later move the rook. So rook g1 makes sense. There is no tactic of this
Yeah,
sort.
because if we
Knight
take-
is defending
Knight
this.
is defending
Yeah.
defending.
Otherwise, it could be a try. But yeah, now Hitansh plays queen e7 and Ansh plays castles. Do you like white or black here, Srikanth? Whose position do you like more?
White.
And why do you like white?
I like white because Hitansh's bishop is not developed.
Yeah. So
He has not castled.
Yeah.
We can just break the center apart, tear it apart with d4.
D4, okay.
And then d4, and we can also try f4. So that we
Okay.
can tear the center apart and we can just start attacking.
So
Okay.
actually
This-
d4 it will give up a pawn.
How will d4 be a free pawn?
Oh, sorry.
Knight is defending rook. Everything is there. 3 pieces. So d4 is a good point. But yeah, it's black's turn. Black plays bishop e6. Hitansh develops his bishop. So white is better because white is more developed. That's for sure, right? And yeah, the pawn breaks, d4 break is there. Now should we play d4? I think d4 is the best move here for Ansh. That's what he played. Yeah, Ansh played d4, following Srikanth's ideology. And now takes is kind of forced because d5 is coming. So takes. And now what should black do, Kavish?
So black can take the d4.
pawn takes d4, you're saying. And then what do you expect, Kavish? Where does it go?
He takes
Takes.
the knight,
Takes.
and then now you can do e4, queen e4.
Second
Oh, you'll take the pawn.
Yeah.
Second item.
Sure.
Sir, stop.
That's a blunder. Queen e4 is a big
yeah,
blunder.
Queen king.
Very easy to blunder. King in the middle, you can't do all that. 1 second. Yes, Priya.
Long castles.
Okay. So ignore this and castle long. That's correct. That's the
But
best option.
sir, after long castles,
And you take I'll
what
take
if
back.
pawn to d5?
We move the knight. Knight b8, then d7. Be fine. So that's what happened. Castling long, I believe, is the best option. Let me also turn on the engine, see what the engine is saying.
Now I'm not sure between d takes c and pushing the d pawn.
Pushing is better.
By the way, yeah, engine says it's better for 1.5, like comfortable position for that is understandable, right? Now, after d5, where should the knight go? Vihan, what do you think black should do here?
Sir,
Why, wait, Vihan, others, please, no need to raise hands. I'm asking one person, right? Please don't make noise, Srikanth. Time to decide, Vihan.
So knight to a5.
Knight a5, what do you say, Srikanth?
sir, I would play knight to b8.
Brian,
Knight a5.
Ansh,
Knight b8.
Kavish.
Knight b8.
Okay, so knight a5.
Sir, queen.
How will
that's a
you bring your
blunder.
knight? Why
That's
should
not
it?
blunder. Pawn.
No,
No,
queen
there's
d5,
a pawn
b6.
b6.
Yeah,
But then
you can
we
defend.
have d4.
Then go
The
back.
knight goes back. That's what happened in the game actually. Kind of that's what happened. Knight b8 is what I would play here. Because knight a5 is in the corner. I'll have to again
And
reroute
so you
it.
can play knight
I-
b8, knight d7.
Yeah,
It's a
and
waste
the
of
knight c5.
moves.
It's a
Huh?
waste-
Huh?
It's a waste of moves.
Yeah, knight a5 it will take so much time to bring it back to safety. I'll have to play pawn forward. I'll have to bring it back. Then I will come to
Oh,
knight
it's
b8, knight
one
d7, knight
Sir,
c5.
after he brings
So,
the knight to a5,
huh,
we bring the queen to b5,
huh,
and then he pushes the pawn to defend the knight.
yeah.
And then we can also get the a6 pawn. We
How
move
will you
the-
get the a6
No,
pawn?
a7 pawn.
How?
We
Oh, with
we
the
will just
check.
check.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
then king can move to b8.
Yeah, king b8. We don't get it. That is, we still don't get it. There's no win there. I mean, he'll get a
Even
comfortable
this
position.
d there looks daring, but nothing is safe for
Yeah,
black.
yeah. So, but yeah, this would have been better. And by the way, after knight to a5, queen b5 is like the main move, right? But Ansh didn't play that. Ansh played queen. Wait a minute. Oh, Ansh could have actually played a much better move here.
So queen a4.
Yeah, queen a4 would have been winning, almost winning, because you're getting a7. In
Yeah.
all these lines, we were not getting a7
Sir,
because
how will you get a7?
because what will they do?
Ah.
b6, right? And b4. You get a7 and the king is forced to run. Little bit risky for our king, but there's no pieces to attack, so center is closed. So
Everything
our king
on
is
that
safe.
side, they can't
Knight
come
will have
from
to
this
come,
side.
and then we'll take. We'll take, and the king has to get running. So
Wait. Why?
yeah, queen a6 wins the
Queen
knight.
a6,
Yeah.
yeah, queen a6
So knight has to go back here, and then we'll take.
Knight has
Yeah.
to go.
So that was one point
Sir,
of.
a6, sir, can you go back?
Yeah, this is the position. Knight
No,
a5
I mean
happened.
queen like reaches a4 and
Huh,
then
queen a4,
you
b6.
defend,
Hmm.
and then you play b4.
Huh.
So if you move it to b7, then it's
Queen takes pawn. You take the pawn.
But then if they what do you say if they play if you don't play any safe move and then the queen plays a8, you have
Then
to
you get the knight. Then you win the knight. So they have to stop that threat. So to stop that, they'll have to probably move the knight again. No, they can't move here, right?
Why?
Yeah, that pawn is here on
Oh,
b4.
yeah.
So that position just completely wins for black. Anyway, so here,
Because either ways they're gonna get the knight.
yeah, he played queen b4, not even b5. I would have played b5 at least, but yeah, b4. And now it is forced, right? Black has to play b6. And now he plays queen a4. So see, he understood that it's good to play queen a4, but only too late. He wasted one move there to play queen a4. And that makes all the difference because now black plays king b8, stopping all the threats there. Now Ansh played a very good move. Let's see if any of you can find out the next move by Ansh.
Is Ansh allowed to answer?
No, not Ansh.
Sir,
Yes, Srikanth.
rook d3.
Why?
Rook left.
Yeah,
So you can get the
this is
rook
what
to
Ansh
d8.
played. Very good move. Like he activates rook. B4 is also possible. Both are good moves.
Because
but-
rook d3, rook a3, then
and then B4, and that will be like problematic. So Hitansh has to defend really well here because this is coming. Ansh is putting pressure on Hitansh's king. So Hitansh finds the correct moves. He plays knight b7.
So can't he also play queen to d7?
That would be a good defensive move. Yeah, because you want to exchange queens. But I'll move my queen. The rook will still come here.
So, but then it's no problem.
Of course, I'm threatening rook takes knight
Oh.
because the queen is here. So you'll have to move the king. So there will still be pressure. So queen d7 is still a good move. He plays knight b7, which is also good. The plan is
Actually, queen d7 is a blunder.
why?
Now I'll move
So
pawn
to
to
go
a5.
back when.
Why?
So, you said we play queen d7.
Hmm.
Can you play it?
Why do you have to play it to tell a move?
Okay.
You need to calculate.
Queen d7, then queen b4.
Queen
okay.
b4. Hmm. I move my king.
Okay, then we play rook a3.
Knight b7.
Then queen to a7, sir, right? Queen will kick
Queen is on b4. How is queen?
No, sir, queen is at a4.
He played queen b4, no?
Oh.
So there's nothing will happen just like that. So it's completely fine for now. But definitely white is better. Black is forced to defend properly. So he plays knight b7, and the idea is after rook a3, he's going to defend with Vihan. How will black defend Vihan? There's only like one move.
So, knight to a5.
Huh? Knight to a5. You went back, now again you're coming back. That's why we played knight b7. Let's ask Kavish. If you play knight back, then I'll play queen b4.
No,
That
that's
will-
just pawn b4.
Yeah, pawn b4. That's like wasting two moves, no? Wait, I'm asking Kavish now. Your chance is over. You should not decide without being sure. You should not decide, no? Making a decision means it has to be proper. Kavish is thinking, unlike Vihan, who didn't think. Maybe others have to put their hands down. Let Kavish decide in time.
Yes, sir.
Sir, pawn a5.
Yeah, pawn a5 is the move that black is planning. He's holding things together. Because even if pawn b4 and takes, knight will take, and then the knight cannot be attacked unless Ansh is going to sacrifice something. So that knight will be like stable there. So kind of that happens, yeah. He goes b4 instantly. But Hitansh doesn't have to take. Hitansh just plays queen d7. So very good defense from Hitansh. Like he's finding these good defensive moves. There was one idea that Ansh kind of missed, I would say. Instead of going b4, there is a more slow way to play this. Can anybody find something that Ansh can try instead of the direct b4, aggressive, fast b4? He can make the position better in a very good way. Yes, Ansh.
Queen b5.
Queen b5, queen d7, or
So,
king
queen
a7.
c4.
That's okay. You can say you're slightly improving the queen, but the best approach there, knight h4. Improve the knight first. This is not going anywhere. This is still going to be like this. He cannot do anything to save this. He's already played a5. So you can improve the knight first, knight h4, knight a5, and then already you have a good piece. You're attacking h6. That's another way to play it, but nobody will see that, right? So he goes for b4. Hitansh plays queen d7, and now do we take the queen?
I would push b5.
b5. Then knight c5, and it's completely closed. b5 is a huge blunder. The last thing you want when you're attacking is to close out those files. So b5 is no attack. The rook doesn't know why it's there. The queen doesn't know why it's there. And knight is superb.
And there's only
So
one.
black
when you
will be
push
winning.
pawns, you should be careful.
And so,
Yeah.
black is better now.
Yeah, black is definitely better there, I would say. So what should we do here?
There's a very small chance we stop the queen b3.
Queen b3. Sure, right? No problem, no? Queen
So
b3.
actually, I would take.
Why do you want to take Prayan? Why not queen b3? Is there a reason, or you just prefer the endgame?
Yeah.
Why do you prefer the endgame?
Sir, I prefer the endgame because there are less pieces and there are more moving. You can move more and there are more ways.
Your opponent can also move, na? I mean, so you're saying personally you prefer an endgame to a middle game.
Yes, sir.
But this
Same.
position objectively.
There can be so many attacks.
Yeah, that your opponent also has pieces. No, so you have to be objective. Like this position, you are the one attacking. The better move is just to move the queen. You should just be move the. You are in a better position on the attack because you're attacking here. You have a better position. But if you exchange queens, it's just an equal position. There's no advantage for either side. Here you're better because opponent's king is slightly under pressure. For example, we are threatening this. They can't take back, but they will take with the rook. So they'll have to again move the king now. And then you can bring more pieces in, like knight d2, knight c4. And then a5 becomes a huge target. So he didn't do that. He played queen takes queen and rook takes back. So we have an endgame.
Copycat.
I didn't copy.
And now pawn takes. So the advantage is like completely gone after this. Now if you see the position, black has the active rook, white's rook is not doing much. And that rook is terrible. Yeah, both rooks are not doing anything. Black has a worse pawn structure. The double pawns are there, but that's why black has the open file as well. So can't blame
White
black.
can play knight h4 now.
Yeah, knight h4 is a very important idea. You need to find this. Knight h4, knight h5. That's an automatic. Like you're improving the rook, the knight for free. Like that's something we should do automatically in the position. But Ansh doesn't see it. He plays rook c3. I wonder why. Just making the rook active. Okay. King b7. King b2, activating the king. So I'm just still trying to do things here, I suppose, on the queen side. The advantage is actually on the king side. If the knight gets here. And then g4. You'll have some space.
In this position, I would play king to d2 instead of d2.
King to d2. Yeah, that makes more sense. But a pawn is a little bit weak. Right? If you play king d2, what if I bring my rook in? You will have to defend this properly. But you can play a3, right?
No, sir. I can play rook to a3 and then you can't move your knight.
Huh. I can if I move my rook back, but yeah. Anyway, so he goes king b2 and now Hitansh plays c6. Breaking that pawn center. Pawn takes, knight takes back. Does that help black? Like has the position changed a little bit? Yeah, this actually looks okay for black now. Like no advantage at all for white, right? Because everything is active now for black, except for this rook.
Sir, it is active. Like it cannot move much, but still.
No, but what is it doing? Okay, if d5 happens, then yeah. If the plan is to play d5, then yeah.
Yeah.
Now Ansh needs to get this rook to activity. So that means what should you do first?
Knight or
Rook
h4.
d.
So knight h4, then how will you?
Rook d.
No, because then the pawn is protected.
Yeah, but then your knight is in the corner.
Yeah, then knight will be
Then
stuck.
instead of rook being stuck, knight is stuck.
Sir, g3.
Yeah, g3 was played by Ansh.
So can't you play g4?
Yeah, g4 is better. Yeah, g4 is better. You have to gain space, no? You're stopping f5, h5 completely, like. And now knight h4, knight f5 is much better for white. So g4 should have been automatic. You shouldn't be playing like slow moves. g4 was much better. But he goes g3 and now Hitansh plays d5, activating his last piece. Now definitely Ansh is slightly under pressure. On the clock as well, he's low on time. Takes. This is scary stuff now for our top seed.
So he could do d1
What
instead
is
of
the
taking the
One second, Kavish.
So he could have done d1 instead of taking the pawn.
D1,
Rook d1.
then D4, that pawn runs forward, no? So it won't be all fun for Ansh after that. You'll have a pawn sitting on D4, attacking the
So
rook.
how did my rating go so low?
Because your chess room rating went down, or I
You
don't
can
know.
do rook c4.
This was updated on the 1st of the month.
I
Anyway.
mean, it has gone higher, but it has gone higher.
Okay, so right now, you asked what is top seed. The highest ranked player is a top seed. Yeah, so here, all three black pieces are active. If this rook also comes in, then it's perfect for black. So for white, the knight doesn't know what it's doing. This rook is okay, this rook doesn't know what it's doing. So he has to bring his rook in. Yeah? He plays rook e1. And now Hitansh should play
Pawn. No,
Rook
sorry.
d8.
rook d8. Is it? Okay, anyone else?
Sir, I would want to play.
Yeah.
Rook e8.
Okay, anyone else?
Sir, even I would actually play rook e8.
Okay.
Rook g8.
Huh?
Rook d8.
Okay, rook.
Rook g8.
Yeah, I would play rook d8. I would, of course. This
So
is
what
the
do
open
you
file.
do there?
You have the open file, so
But
what?
what do you do with the open file?
You enter the open file, that's what you
But
do.
then it'll be exchange and that's it.
Huh? Then there will be a rook sitting on the open file, mister.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, okay, I have a cake in front of me. What will I do with the cake? You eat the cake, what else? Hmm.
Can dance with the king.
So you have
Yeah,
the
yeah.
rooks. There is a reason why rooks belong on open files. The doubling of the rooks means you can invade the open file.
Then
And
you
that
can
will
also
be,
get all of the balls.
huh?
The second, you can get.
Yeah, but you can't get to the second rank. Knight is stopping it. So if knight was not there, I would love to put my rook here, of course. But yeah, now Hitansh plays rook to e8, which is also fine. It's like probably the second best move. Material position is completely equal. It's 3-0. Please keep the pieces down, mister. So 0.00 is the evaluation right now for the computer. So now Ansh plays finally the move he was supposed to play 10 moves back. He remembers his knight has a beautiful square on f5. Now the knight starts a journey to f5. And
Wait, sir, couldn't you have directly gone over there?
where? f5 from here to here?
I thought it was done
Uh-huh.
E3.
Okay. So
Then you have
if
to
if
win
you
the
did it, then you take the rook, mister. Okay, so knight h4. Hitansh plays e4.
Now you can't play that.
Then he plays
stopping
G4.
G4 and then knight f5. Yeah, that makes sense. He plays f3 actually. What do you think of
that's
that?
a good move. If he takes the pawn, I will take the
Yeah,
rook.
so of course
Rook
opponent
will
won't
take
take.
the knight, of course.
No, the rook will take the rook, so pawn can't take the pawn.
Some
Or
of
can
that
it?
is quite troublesome.
Yeah, huh? How will it be?
Nothing is troublesome.
No, the rook will come and stop the pawn. So pawn takes pawn will be a huge blunder by Hitansh. So Hitansh won't take it. So is this move good? Don't assume opponent will take. Opponent can't take. Is this move good if the opponent can't take? Does it improve Ansh's position or is it better for black? What do you guys think?
It is better for white.
Okay. What do you expect from black here, Praya? What will black do?
Maybe he'll play f5.
Yeah, f5 is the best move. That is the correct move for black. He plays rook e5.
So, but
No,
then
sir, if he plays f5, the knight will take the
Then rook will take the knight, mister. The rook is sitting on d5. So now after rook e5, what should white do now, guys?
takes, knight f5.
Takes, knight f5.
So
makes
this is
sense.
like kind of a good
Sir.
move.
Okay.
Takes.
First, Srikanth. Yeah.
Takes, knight f5.
You're attacking h6. I push the pawn.
Then I.
Then knight d6.
Knight d6.
So
yeah.
you're basically winning the h pawn. So yeah, that makes sense. So Ansh has a sort of winning move here. Rook takes pawn. Rook takes, pawn takes. If rook takes, then knight f5. And that position is better. But it's difficult to see that it's better. Yeah, when you're actually playing. So Ansh plays.
So I think so. This is a good move
Hmm.
because then we can play
What move are you talking about?
rook to e3.
Yeah, that is what Ansh played. But now I can take the pawn, right?
But you take back the rook.
I'll take back.
Then you can take.
And then takes back.
Oh yeah.
And now you can't, pawn is protected. But yeah, after pawn takes,
Take with the
take-
knight.
take with the knight directly. You mean after pawn take with the knight? I can't take with the knight. Rook is hanging. So pawn takes I have to take first and then I can take with the knight. But wait, let's see what happened. He took on f3. Hitansh takes the pawn. Is this now bad for Ansh? Because is he going to be down a pawn? Takes.
That's
Hitansh
why
could
he
have
was
taken
down
with the
a pawn.
knight, right? If Hitansh takes the knight, then he's a pawn up, no? Or is he? No. I'll take.
Yeah, that's true.
Knight will just take. So taking with the knight doesn't give him an extra pawn.
So he
So
has
he
to take
Well, no, I didn't get it.
rook or if he plays knight takes rook thinking he's defending the pawn, he's a pawn up,
So
right?
rook will also not do it.
Yeah.
He will take the
No,
rook.
knight will take the
Yeah,
pawn.
that's fine.
You can't take back because rook will take the rook.
So he can play actually f2.
F2 rook f1. I mean f2 rook takes rook.
No, if f2 rook takes it.
Rook gone. Why should you do that? Okay, so he has to take back, right? He takes back with the pawn, which is a good decision. The pawn is given back. What else could he have done? It's still equal, completely equal. Knight takes back. Now Ansh is okay, right? He has got a target here. But it's a pass pawn. The only pass pawn on the board is that pawn. There's no other pass pawn, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's still not that easy. The pass pawn pushes. E4. Knight goes now slowly position is
So we
becoming.
actually don't need to move the knight.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's no need to move the knight.
No, he'll do pawn to e3.
But yeah, just to be safe. Pawn
But
E3.
now if the pawn moves, then you have to move.
Knight went to G1 actually. Yeah, now he could have pushed, but he played F5. Pushing will only make the pawn a little weak. Like here it's protected. Once you push it, let's say the king comes and the pawn is gone. Or if the knight comes somehow to attack it, the pawn is
So
gone.
I want
So
to play g4 variable f4 will be played.
yeah, G4 would be a huge blunder. f4 and
That's
will
why I have
be
to keep the pawn
yeah.
stable.
So you played king
So how
c3.
d4 a blunder again?
Because
F4. And
There
the
will be two pawns running down the board.
Two pass pawns.
Okay. So now king c3. Hitansh plays rook to g8, another good move, attacking the pawn.
That was goal pressure.
Knight e2.
Then he wait.
This is now a tough position for Ansh to defend because pass pawn. This is not pleasant. He's slightly under pressure, so he must have played well
And time
too.
pressure, sir.
Yeah, time pressure hand position is
So how
also.
much time is it?
I don't. It doesn't show it here, so I don't know. But okay, you very low on time. h5. Ansh plays king d2. That's good because the king would like to come here. This is where the king wants to come. He'll be very active there. Hitansh plays slightly awkward. I mean, king a6. I would play king c7. No? Why would he go to the corner?
You should get this king to the.
Yeah, now, why not king e3? This is where you have to like take the game into your hands. You play king e3. What are you afraid of? Nothing. No. What's the problem?
Then you.
Is it knight b4? Yeah, knight b4 you will lose one pawn, but you will play king f4 and he takes, you will get both pawns. So
No,
here,
he takes attacking the rook.
then I'll play rook c1 attacking the knight. Knight will have to move and then I'll take the pawn. I'll take both pawns. So yeah, king e3 was a leap of faith he had to take here. But he goes for g4, playing it safe. He removes the pawns from that side. So now takes.
Basically,
Did he lose the pawn?
yes, sir.
Oh,
Basically,
wait.
he loses a pawn.
Wait a
I
minute.
didn't calculate that.
Aha. Okay. So now Ansh is in trouble.
Blundersmith happened.
Oh, he goes rook g1. So this is now a difficult. Yeah.
So you could have just played
Two
rook
pass
f1.
pawn. Rook f1. Yeah. But the pawn will stay, right? Knight e7.
Yes, sir.
And then yeah, the pawn will
No, then
stay.
he could have gone
I
9
see
d4.
zero.
Oh, he would have pushed me.
Then he'll push. The pawns will also
So
push.
that is fine. You can trade the rooks.
So do we trade rooks? Vihan. Should black exchange rooks in this position? Time to decide, Vihan.
Yes,
You
sir.
don't. Okay. What do you say, Srikanth?
Yeah.
Kavish?
Yeah.
Prayan?
I'm not sure.
Okay, Ansh?
So black shouldn't trade the rooks because it will still be tough for me, but it makes my job slightly easier. And give the rook.
Okay. That is not right, Mr. Ansh. The easiest thing to win is a knight endgame. A rook and knight endgame is difficult to win. The white rook is also there, na? Pawns can't simply run. If it's a knight endgame, it's very simple. Activate the king and win. After exchanging rooks, it's much easier to win this position. This is now completely gone. Black just a knight endgame is just like a pawn endgame. If you want to win a knight endgame, do it just like a pawn endgame. In pawn endgame, what do?
Playing a king.
Yeah, activate your king, win the game. So this is now the easiest thing. Keeping the rooks was the correct choice. So exchanging was the good choice for black. So black did exchange and now he's winning. Let's see what Hitansh did to
I
not
think
win.
so. White is winning.
How is white winning
How
this
is
game?
white winning?
White is down a pawn and white simply going to
Sir,
take
whose
everything.
move is it?
It is black's turn. Black played king
No,
b5.
sir, you have got a fork right now.
How?
Knight to b4.
b4. Okay. Knight b4.
Oh my god.
Silence, please. Knight b4. Yeah. How is it? You're attacking one pawn, mister.
Instead of fork.
How is it a fork?
The king is defending the c2 pawn.
C2 is not attacked. You're only
But
attacking.
still, you're getting one of the pawns.
How are you
How
getting
did
one
you
of the
push the
pawns?
pawn?
You attack one pawn, you're getting that pawn?
Oh,
I'll push the pawn. You're not getting anything. So king b5 is the correct choice. He activated the king. It's still completely winning for black. King e3. So this is now very close, very interesting. This is something we have to learn. Like being good in the endgame will win you games. Hitansh was not good. He didn't win this endgame. So how do we continue from here?
King b4.
King b4 going for these pawns. So you're
Yeah.
going to give up that pawn, is it?
Yeah, because those two.
so now we can do the
One
move.
pawn.
There are no white pawns here. But as soon as these two white pawns are eliminated, it's like a red carpet for
Then
them.
they'll give up the knight no, for the pawn.
Yeah.
If you just have one pawn to promote, you won't win. They'll just sacrifice a knight for this pawn.
Okay, then as soon as I'll play king b4, but as soon as there is
King
king
F4.
f4. I'll play knight e7.
King e5.
Then I'll play king a3.
King e6.
Then
Pawns are gone.
I push the pawn.
The pawn is stopped by the knight, so I take your knight for free.
Yeah, but there are two pass pawns there.
Which the knight can stop. The knight is stopping both. So you play e3 and then what?
I'll
I
play.
take the knight, you play f4.
Yeah. No, wait, no. I play f4. I play f4 first.
How can you? So after king f4, so you're playing king to b4, king f4,
Knight e.
king e5, king a3,
King a3.
king e6,
F4.
f4 I take,
F3.
f3. Okay. I play that's a good one. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
So he-
Yes.
okay, fine. So f4, f3, and my knight is out of play. That is exactly how you should be winning this. Like these pawns can overpower a knight. I didn't believe in those two pawns against a knight, but yeah, he's right. If the pawn gets to f4, then f3 wins. If the king is below, so king b4 is a good choice here for black. Like
Sir.
yeah,
Can you even show Shrikant's moves?
in your mind you need to learn to calculate, Mr. Prayan. If you don't calculate, you're never going to get better in calculation. So why can't we calculate king b4? Can you see that?
Yes.
What will white do?
They'll
King
try to
f4.
do that, yeah.
Then what will black do? Defend the pawn, so knight e7. Then I'll play king e5, trying to take the knight.
I'll
He'll
push.
play king a3. No, he'll play king a3. That's what he told. No, king a3. Why should he push? And
You
then
push
king
and you
a6.
Shouldn't he play c3?
Yeah, c3 is better, but okay, he played a3. Doesn't matter. I play king e6, and then he's playing f4. So if I take the knight, f3, and he wins because the king is far away. Knight is not able to stop the pawns. So that's a good way to win.
So actually, knight can stop.
How?
How?
Knight h3. How will he stop? The pawn is
No,
on
sir.
Hmm.
Wait, I forgot the position.
The pawn is on f3.
You can't stop that.
But then you
How
can.
much stuff?
Okay, you actually can't.
You play knight h3, pawn e3, and
Told you, knight e3.
but yeah, the knight.
Knight e3.
A knight is here. How will you go to e3?
Oh.
If you go to e3, then yeah, that will be
I
great.
thought knight was in there.
Okay, so basically I shouldn't take the knight in that line. Before I take the knight, I have to make a knight move somewhere to stop the pawns. Like if I can play knight e2, yeah. Now I get it. So before king e6, I should play knight e2, stopping f4.
Before king e6, if you play knight e2.
You will take this pawn, no?
No.
Then what will you do?
Well, it's a fork. Wait. My knight is on e7.
e7, my king is on e5, and I just played knight e2.
Oh. Knight e2.
Yeah. And I've got Srikanth.
And no, not completely.
No, I'm winning a knight, all the pawns. I'm not losing that, at least.
e7. Wait, sir, let me think. I will.
Your king is here.
Okay. If wait, I'm thinking.
Hi, Christy. Yeah, please come. Christy, you can go inside.
See, if I take this, that.
If you take, then king e6, and I'm fine. Okay, let's move forward. So you can. I'll offer a draw there, and we'll shake hands, I suppose. Okay, so that's exactly how to win. He plays king c5, which is fine, right? It's still winning for black, no? Because if the king goes to f4, knight d4, defending it. But then c3, not so easy. Maybe knight e7.
Knight e7,
King e5, no?
e5.
But king e5, king c4.
Wait. King e5. Then wait.
E3 won't work. So let's see what happened. He played knight e2, Ansh played knight e2, which is a good choice because stopping f4 is kind of required and stopping knight d4 also makes sense. But yeah, black is still completely winning. What should black do here? Anyone? How should black continue?
So wait.
Yeah.
Before this.
He didn't play king f4, no? He played knight e2, so
Yeah,
let's
but
leave that
if-
line.
No, if he plays king f4, then what we can do is knight e7.
King e5.
King e5.
Hmm.
King c4.
King c4, knight e2.
King c4, knight e2.
The king can't even come close.
Oh. Okay.
The king is like, there's a force shield, magnetic shield stopping the king.
No, wait. The king can come close.
How?
You can just like waste moves. I can just play b5.
Then I'll take your knight.
No, you're on e.
No, I'll play
e5.
king e6.
Then I can move to d4.
You can't, my knight is on e2.
Oh, e2, right?
It's completely blocked. Okay, now let's come back here. So knight e2 by Ansh is a good choice. Yeah, knight e2, black played pawn b5, which is still fine. It's sort of like a waiting move, doesn't improve much, but he's waiting.
Now king f4.
Now king f4 by Ansh. Is
Okay, so
black
that's how
winning?
he draws.
Is black winning?
Wait, again defense. Now, if he plays knight e5, there is
Knight e5?
sorry d4.
No, you can think in your mind. Don't think aloud. Let everyone think. What should black do here? This is the moment where the games can be won or drawn from the way you think. So let's think here and find out how to continue for black. Let everyone think, Srika. No need to raise hands. Please wait. Okay, how many of you decided? Srikant, yeah?
So, knight to d4.
Yeah, that is the best move in the position. Because of course you can't take, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, taking would be just lost. King takes, and you will get the pawn back, but e3 is just game
No,
over.
if you take the pawn back, I can just take your knight.
So knight takes, king takes, and then king takes.
Oh, yeah.
The king can't take the pawn, no, it's defended. That's the point of knight d4.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now Ansh didn't take, of course, he played knight g3. So game is still close. So this is where Hitansh made a mistake and his advantage just slipped. So I'll again ask you to stop here and think for a moment. What should black do in this position?
You have to find the best one.
Yep. How to continue for black? You have the advantage. How do you win this? Yes. Okay, let's start with Prayan.
Sir, knight takes c2.
Okay, Srikant.
So, I just play king c4.
Okay, Ansh.
King b4.
King b4. Okay. So let's start with Prayan. So knight takes e2. What will white do, Prayan?
Sir, any king move or knight move.
Then you're not calculating. What is the meaning of
Okay, sir.
calculation? Means expecting opponent without any expectation. How can you make a move?
Yes, sir. Knight takes f5.
Ah, so that is not hard now. You have to be ready to calculate.
Knight takes
You
f5.
cannot just be sitting like, okay, he'll play some move.
Yes, sir. Knight takes f5.
Yeah, so knight takes e2, knight takes f5. Then
Then we go to b5. Like
king
that.
to d5, right?
No. Knight to b5.
How will you
b4,
do
b4.
Knight to b4.
Ah.
I take this pawn as well. That's a draw.
Sir, but then you take that pawn.
You can't win with one pawn when opponent can just give up the knight. If you only have one pawn to promote, and I have a knight, I'll just give up my knight for the pawn. If you don't have any pawns here, it's going to be a draw. One pawn is not enough to win, being just one pawn up. So now coming to the correct move here, king c4 is the winning move. b4, okay, but you want to be closer to this side. Why are we going away? c4 is better. c4 is winning. So the point being, they still can't take.
Because
Knight takes pawn, knight takes, king takes, king
and
has to come to d4. If you're on b4, you can't do that. So king has to come to d4, and that pawn game is winning for
instead
for
of
black.
king d4, you can also play king c3.
King c3, king takes,
King takes.
king d4.
Push. Push, then there's there.
Yeah, so why do all the rest?
Yeah.
Just king d4 and you're winning, no? Simple pawn game. So he can't do this. So here, white played. Wait a minute. What did he do? No, here actually he didn't play king c4. Yeah, king c4 is very difficult to play. Like the first move that comes to mind is knight takes pawn. Of course, you will think you have a pawn still, pass pawn. Then it's a problem. You have to first think of this, of course. Then you're not thinking correctly. The way to decide this is you think of this. If it doesn't work, then you think of other moves. If you don't even think of the most obvious move, then you're not thinking right. So knight takes pawn. No, here it will work the way you thought, but it won't work in most positions. So knight takes pawn. White took the pawn, and now the knight again came here. Of course, white shouldn't exchange, right? That will be a blunder. Knight e3, and it is equal because the material is 2 less. It's 1 pawn up, but 1 pawn is not enough. The knight
There is
takes.
0 pawns up.
Yeah, the 0 pawns up. The king just takes the pawn, and the game went on to a draw. There's few more moves, but even without the equal
Should we
pawns,
show
it's
few
still.
moves?
There's nothing to say. I mean, how will you win this? There's no way to win this, no? So I'll quickly show the moves.
Unless you
Knight
blunder.
d4. Yeah, even if you blunder the pawn, you still can't win. Like even if
No, and
white.
if you blunder the knight and.
Yeah. Knight b4, king f3. Why did he give up the pawn? Why did Ansh give up the pawn? To make it harder to draw. It's still a draw. King e2, b4, knight d1.
So I was in time bridge, so I cannot see the move. I just have to play it.
Then you have to play some blitz to get used to time pressure. It's not like excuses will not get us anywhere. King d2,
That's a good move.
king b3. Yeah, he has to
Now,
be close.
oh, yeah, that's.
So as long as white king stays here defending the knight, black can't win. Because the moment pawn comes to b2, knight will take it. So king went to d3. Knight c3. One way to lose this would be
Trade.
to play knight takes time. That would be a loss because then pawn takes and pawn promotes. So of course he doesn't do that. He plays knight e3. Here Ansh is still under imagine playing this. Like there is still a pawn, so it's still a little bit difficult for Ansh, right? During the game, he plays king b2, does Hitansh. This is scary stuff.
Sir, I
Pawn
just play
just
knight c3.
Knight c3, knight c4.
So knight c2.
No, sir,
knight
knight
c2,
c2 and then knight d4.
Yeah, knight c2, knight d4.
Knight c2, knight d4. Yeah. That would be one way to stop it. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Don't
Knight
be
c2,
scared.
knight d4. So he
So
plays.
that's why I say don't be scared.
Yes.
Sacrifice.
King d2, knight check, king d1, pawn pushes, and now is the moment to play.
Killer move.
No, what killer move? There's no killer move. He plays knight c4,
Correct.
but there's no time to take the pawn here. The moment he plays this, he'll push. So he'll have to stay here. Staying here is fine.
And I have 10 seconds for call.
Yeah, now he plays king to c1.
Is there
Now there's no way to do anything, yeah, for black.
increment? Yeah, there is increment.
Black will have to try to come here, but he can't
No,
come
sir.
here. Ah,
There are
knight.
knight d6.
Oh, knight e6. Yeah, he played.
But I am not.
He played knight, but he's not going to fall for that. He goes knight b2, right?
This part I saw. This part I saw.
Okay, knight b2 by Ansh. So Ansh is defending well, but wait. Wait a minute. I thought this was equal. I thought 1 pawn you can give up the knight, but engine is saying it's winning for black. For a long, yeah, till knight e4 check, it was equal. But suddenly after king to d1,
So check the moves. What it shows.
yeah, moves be the same moves. It's completely winning from king d1. Last 3 moves onwards. So this position is winning for black apparently. How? How will black win?
Sir.
Yeah.
No.
And is this chess.com analysis?
Yeah, this leeches whatever answer doesn't matter. Just computer means computer, na?
Sir, but chess.com analysis kharab.
It's not that corrupt that it can tell the position that is winning. It's equal.
No,
Or
sir.
if
Sir,
computer saying this position is winning, it's winning. There's just 4 pieces. How complicated can a computer think it
Sir,
is?
easy, sir. King d1, sacrifice the king.
No, let's think properly. How can everybody? Enough.
Then there's going to be no check.
Prayan, please focus. Let's focus and find out the correct plan. Just because somebody says something, there's no need to prolong that. Let's focus on the position and try to find out how to win this as black. Now that I look at it, it's a simple win.
So now can I tell?
Yeah.
Knight e4.
Knight e4 is winning, but there is.
Zero. So how is that winning? E4.
Knight e4 position is still because he can still go back and have the same position. Then basically the way to win this is by moving the king. Because now if the knight moves,
Yeah.
knight comes and you can't go back. So now king can't move away, right?
Yeah.
Because then the king will come and kick the knight. So let's go back a little bit. Knight was here. Sorry, king was here, and
Knight was on d6.
knight was on d6. The black knight, yeah.
Yeah.
And white knight was here.
Hmm.
Okay, so he played knight e4, which is still winning. So knight e4. Now Ansh played knight c4. So this looks drawing, right? And now they repeated, I believe. Yeah, they just repeated thrice. They repeated the moves thrice and it became a draw.
I'd play knight c5.
Wait, knight c. Wait. Knight d6 was repeated and he went back to b2. So basically, the only way to win this is with king a1.
So
Why was
after,
that
no, I
different?
don't understand. After king a1,
If the knight moves away, knight c4.
and then after, how does the pawn promote?
What will you do for white? You will have to either move the knight or move the king, right?
Sir, how is this winning, sir? It's a draw.
So move the king.
Move the king, okay. Let's see, I move my. Then it's simple win. Knight b2 check.
Oh.
Oh.
So let's go back.
There's
So
no
knight-
so there's
so
no
now
king
sir,
d2.
knight takes.
Your knight takes.
This is losing.
Knight takes, king takes.
So wait to d2.
Ansh, last class, what did we learn, Ansh? How do you win with one pawn? When is the one pawn in game winning? Still, we haven't understood that.
Wait, sir, can you move back once?
Huh? You still not learned that properly.
Sir, the king was on c1. What about king to d2? Oh,
King d2 is illegal.
so, oh.
So you'll have to either play king d2 allowing knight b2 that wins, or you'll have to move the knight which also wins. That is why this is completely winning. But yeah, it was not easy to find king a1.
Not at all
But
easy.
yeah, so it's
Sir,
understandable.
today no games.
Yeah, we're going to